Good morning. This is a recording for Saturday, March 30th. In the past few days, we talked a lot about the definition of shame, what shame is and is not, and how easy it is to get entangled into the web of shame because of the unrealistic societal and personal expectations. Now let's move on to exploring how we can actually overcome shame and what we can do to avoid getting trapped in the shame web. To paraphrase Brené Brown, the bad news is that there is no way to permanently rid ourselves of shame, because at the very core, shame is the fear of disconnection. And as long as connection is critical, the threat of disconnection that leads to shame will always be a part of our lives. The good news, however, is that we are all capable of developing shame resilience. By resilience, Brené Brown means the ability to recognize shame when we experience it and move through it in a constructive way that allows us to maintain our authenticity and grow from our experiences. And in this process of consciously moving through our shame, we can build stronger and more meaningful connections with the people in our lives. In the same way that we built an understanding of shame using definitions and descriptions, we have to build an understanding of resilience. First, shame resilience is not an all or nothing proposition. There are degrees of resilience. To illustrate this, Brené Brown developed the shame resilience continuum. The image of this continuum is in the book, and I already posted it in our groups, both this one and the private Mindful Morning Circle, so that you can see it visually. And if you have a chance to look at it right now, go for it. Otherwise, take a look later. It's not going to take away from our session today. Don't worry. So on the left-hand side of that continuum are all the byproducts of shame: fear, blame, disconnection. On the right side of the continuum, there are courage, compassion, and connection, all the primary components of empathy. In other words, shame resilience is a spectrum between shame and empathy. Brené Brown says that over and over the interviewees explained how empathy is the strongest antidote for shame. And it's not just about having our needs for empathy met. Shame resilience requires us to be able to respond empathically to others. In other words, if we want to develop high levels of shame resilience, we need to become both givers and receivers of empathy. When Brené Brown asked her participants to share examples of how they recovered from shame, they described situations in which they were able to talk about their shame with someone who expressed empathy. They talked about the power of hearing someone say, "I understand. I've been here too. That happened to me too. It's okay, you're normal. I understand what it's like." Like shame itself, the stories of resilience share a common core. When it comes to shame resilience, empathy is at the center. And empathy is a very interesting topic, and even somewhat controversial nowadays, as there is a lot of material out there on what it means to be an empath. So in the next few sessions, let's try to take a closer look at empathy and detangle the concept together. Today, I want to dedicate our practice to empathy we can give to ourselves. As always, take a comfortable position and take a few moments to settle. Settle into your body, your heart, your mind. Settle into this moment, right here, right now. Your breath nice and soft, natural. See if you can find spaciousness in your breathing, allowing all the experiences of the present moment to flow through you as energy that they are, without struggle. Now recall a shameful experience and gently, kindly start exploring how it feels in your body. Remember, shame is a full contact emotion. So even though it may start somewhere in the pit of your belly, it may very well travel all over your body, making you want to shrink, hide, disappear. Or, on the other hand, it may make you feel super angry for having this kind of feelings and thoughts and lash out, blaming everybody around you. Whatever it is for you, try to simply stay with this experience. Allow whatever is happening in your body, mind, and heart to just exist. Remind yourself that even though you are experiencing all these uncomfortable, unwanted emotions and thoughts right now, you are not just that. You are not your shame. There are other things going for you right now. Your breath, the stable base of your seat, the loving presence of your fellow practitioners, my voice. And start repeating after me. Shame is a moment of suffering. Suffering is a part of life. May I be kind to myself in this moment. May I give myself the compassion I need. Shame is a moment of suffering. Suffering is a part of life. May I be kind to myself in this moment. May I give myself the compassion I need. As you repeat this mantra after me, notice if anything starts to shift. Maybe yes, maybe no. Again, it's not about forcefully changing your experience. It's not about pushing anything away. It's simply about creating space around it, ventilating it with your steady and slow breathing. Shame is a moment of suffering. Suffering is a part of life. May I be kind to myself in this moment. May I give myself the compassion I need. Shame is suffering, and we all experience shame. It's a universal emotion. You are not alone. Maybe remind yourself, how human of me to feel this way, and how human of me to want those feelings to go away. And return to our mantra. Shame is a moment of suffering. Suffering is a part of life. We all experience shame sometimes. May I be kind to myself in this moment. May I give myself the compassion I need. And now take a moment to reflect how exactly you can be kind to yourself in this moment. Maybe it's a hug you give to yourself, or a kind word. Or maybe you need to reach out to a trusted friend and just ask to be hugged, to be held, perhaps without any explanation at all. This is a moment of suffering. Suffering is a part of life. May I be kind to myself in this moment. May I give myself the compassion I need. And now gently let go of your practice. As always, scan your body. Notice what's going on for you right now, physically, emotionally, mentally. How are you, really? As you go through your day today, I invite you to stay with this reflection. Shame is a universal emotion, and empathy is the antidote for shame. How human of me to experience shame and all of its byproducts: fear, blame, disconnection. Shame is a moment of suffering. How can I be kind to myself in this moment? How can I give myself the compassion I need? As always, enjoy your discoveries, and if you feel inspired to share, please do so. Thank you so much for being here today. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow.